Hi students, I'm Dr. Bhavana. In this lecture, we are going to deal about the human health and diseases. So we are going to continue with the topic called as human health and diseases. So in the last class, we have seen what is active immunity, what is passive immunity. We have started with the immune system. And today's class also we are going to continue with the same. So immune system, what is the immune system basically? There are, I told you, four types of immunity. It's classified into four types. That is nothing but active immunity, passive immunity, innate immunity, acquired immunity. Innate means I have already told you which is present at the birth. Acquired is in the later stages, you acquire it. By the name only you can understand. Then later innate immunity, acquired immunity, we have seen many examples that are related to that. After innate immunity, acquired immunity, we have started with what is active immunity, what is passive immunity. If anyone have missed the class regarding this, just go to the last videos, immunity part 1 and part 2, and then check it out. Then later, we have seen about the active immunity, what is passive immunity. So active immunity means what? When the host will acquire the antibodies naturally, if antibodies are produced in a host naturally, then it is called as active immunity. We can say it as immunity is acting very actively. It is very active, that's why it can produce its own antibodies. So what are the examples that are related? I ask you to remember with the letter I. So I means infection as well as immunization. Infection, immunization. Infection means suppose you are acquired with any type of infection, then our antibodies will be produced naturally. So that's why infection. Immunization means what? What I have told you about immunization, it is nothing but it is antibodies are produced in like this. See, weakened pathogen is introduced into the body, weak pathogen. It may be living or dead. Microorganisms are introduced into the body. Then later the body will develop a new antibodies. That is the principal role of immunization, right? So that's why it is also classified under active immunity. We are introducing only pathogens in immunization. We are not introducing antibodies artificially. So that's why there are antibodies are produced naturally, but pathogens are injected artificially. So that's why infection and immunization is under active immunity. When it comes to passive immunity means what? The antibodies are administered artificially into the patient. Suppose from the mother to the child, the antibodies should be transferred. Means they are injected artificially only, they are transferred. By birth, during birth also, from the mother to the fetus, antibodies are transferred. Directly they are transferred. But also it is coming to the fetus from others. That is from mother it is coming. So that's why they are classified under passive immunity. If they are produced naturally, active. If they are produced artificially, passive. Simple thing to be remembered. And what are the examples? Means I told you infection immunization for active immunity. For passive immunity, it is nothing but mother's milk. From mother's milk only IgA antibodies. I have told you four types of antibodies are present. So IgA antibodies are transferred from mother to fetus during the birth actually. So later also through placenta also numerous IgG antibodies and all are transferred. IgG are also transferred through placenta. So mostly they are coming from mother, from others. So that's why it is classified under passive immunity. So it is important in NEET point of view. That's why I am revising twice or thrice. So we have done about active immunity as well as passive immunity. Then later we have seen what is vaccination or immunization. Vaccination is based on only two principles. That is nothing but memory. Memory of the immune system is very important for that of vaccination. Suppose you have tetanus infections or some snake bites you have. Before only if you take vaccination for them, you can prevent them. It is not very harmful for you. then the disease will not occur for you. Once again, if snake bite also, or if some tetanus is infected also, our immune system will recognize and it will not cause any harm to us. That's why vaccinations nowadays, polio vaccinations, hepatitis B vaccination, everything came into play. Why they all are important? Because for us not to come more harm, it will not cause more harm to the patients. So that's why this vaccination and immunization is very important. But the principal role is memory of the immune system. Means inactivated pathogen is introduced into the body, then antibodies are produced against it, and these memory B and T cells, B and T lymphocytes which are present, they will also act. These B and T lymphocytes will act on our body, and fast activation will be there if you take vaccination. If you don't take vaccination, first you will suffer from disease, then fever, these all you will suffer, and in the later stages these will act. But first, initially, if they want to act fast, you should take vaccination. So this is the main role of vaccination, that is nothing but antibodies are produced naturally, as well as B and T lymphocytes are activated very fast. So the principal role here, what is the principal role? It is nothing but memory of the immune system plays a very important role. So this is about the two different types. Then later, how these vaccines are produced on large scale. They should be produced right for us, because it should be available to each and every person in the world. So these vaccinations like polio and all, they should be available. Everyone who is born newly, everyone should take this polio vaccine and all. Nowadays, COVID vaccine also came into play. So these all vaccines, if you take, if you are infected also, you will not be affected with their symptoms, and it will not be fatal for you, because antibodies will be produced, and that will suppress the immune system, and everything will go on very nicely. So this is about the how they are produced on the large scale. Means through microorganisms only these vaccines are produced, through microorganisms. So what are these microorganisms basically? Like bacteria as well as fungi, rDNA technology. Through rDNA technology only, these will play a very important role through rDNA technology. That is fungi as well as bacteria. These two will play important role. For example, hepatitis B vaccine, which every one of us should take. So that will is produced from basically yeast. Yeast only will produce this hepatitis B vaccine. So how many fungi you want, you can grow, and it will be available for the entire world. So it is on a large scale, they are produced from bacteria and fungi based on the technique that is called as rDNA technology, that is recombinant DNA technology. So this is about vaccination and immunization. Next we have seen about allergies. What allergies we will have? Generally, if you go somewhere, you will start sneezing, coughing, wheezing and all. Why all this will happen? Due to some allergens that are present in the environment. Allergens. What are these allergens? It may be the dust or pollen grains and all. You see numerous allergy. What antibodies are activated based on this allergy? It is nothing but IgE antibodies, IgE. They will come and act basically, these IgE antibodies. And what is the use of this IgE antibodies? These IgE antibodies basically, they help in secretion of like mast cells which are present. They secrete histamine and serotonin. Mast cells. They secrete histamine as well as serotonin. So these are the chemicals which are produced by the mast cells when you are exposed to allergy. If you are not exposed to allergy, these mast cells won't secrete these. But if you are exposed to some allergy, these mast cells will secrete two chemicals that are called as histamine and serotonin. Important NEET question, very frequently they ask this neat question. So histamine as well as serotonin are basically produced. So what is the role of this histamine as well as serotonin? They are secreted by mast cells, right? I told you they're secreted by mast cells. They secrete histamine, serotonin. And basically to control this allergy, we should take some tablets, or else we will go into extreme stages like asthma also. It's caused due to allergens only, difficulty in breathing, everything we will get. So that's why to prevent all this we should take medications. What are the medications which you take? Because histamine chemical is released, you should take antihistamines. Antihistamines as well as steroids, adrenaline, antihistamines, steroids as well as adrenaline. These are the three medicines, drugs you should take to prevent allergies. Antihistamines, adrenaline, steroids. These three will act to prevent the allergy and to prevent harmful symptoms. What are the symptoms you see? Like difficulty in breathing, cough, in sneezing, wheezing, and all. So this all I have told you. So basically the definition of allergy comes as exaggerated immune response. Our immune response every time it will be normal, but when there is exaggeration of the immune response, then it will lead to allergy. Due to specific pathogen, it will lead to allergy. This definition is most important, exaggerated immune response, because in numerous NEET questions, this definition was asked and they'll give you options like allergy or inflammation, like that they'll give. So it is nothing but exaggerated immune response due to specific pathogen or chemicals is nothing but it is allergy. So that you should learn, as well as what are the antibodies you should learn, what is active immunity, passive immunity, what is immunization procedures, and all is very important in NEET point of view. Next we are going to see about what is autoimmunity. Again, there is a specific type of immunity. Allergy, these all are caused due to deficiency of the immune system acting properly, because there is deficiency in some immune system. That's why it is not able to control the diseases and we are susceptible to diseases. That's why there is another disease also where immune system acts very weakly. That is nothing but autoimmunity. So we will see about that. In the autoimmunity, basically, autoimmunity means what? Autoimmunity, that is nothing but we all have memory based acquired immunity. We have memory cells. These memory based acquired immunity is enough to differentiate between the new cells as well as the self cells. Self cells means what? Self acting cells which will protect our body. Self acting cells will protect our body. Foreign particles are different, but in this autoimmunity what will happen is our cells will attack the own cells. Our antibodies will attack the own cells and it will cause the disease. So self cells they will attack basically. Why is this will occur? This may occur due to some genetic disorders or due to unknown reasons. Till now we are not sure why there is autoimmunity. In numerous patients we see they are suffering from autoimmunity. Means our immune system will act against its own cells only, self cells. It will destroy the self cells. Why it will destroy the self cells? It may be due to genetic disorders or still the experiments on going on. Why they are our cells are attacking the self cells and all, still the experiments are going on. But till now no one find out. They all are thinking that it may be due to genetic reasons. It may be due to genetic disorders, everyone are thinking. but still experiments are going on. So autoimmunity means by name only we can understand. Till now we have dealt about allergies. What are allergies? What are the now we are going to seeing about the autoimmunity. By name only our immune system will act against its own cells. Immune system will act against its own cells. Own cells means you can also say it as self cells. Your immune system is acting continuously against its self cells, and it may be due to genetic disorders and all. So, how basically what are the disorders which are associated are nothing but myasthenia gravis, as well as the most common autoimmune disorders are myasthenia gravis and rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis. Our immune system will act against its own cells and destroy the cells. So that's why we should take numerous immunosuppressants to suppress the immune system. Immunosuppressants like pilocarpine and all should be taken to suppress the immune system. If our immune system gets suppressed only, then this will stop, or else our full cells will be damaged and the patient may die in severe cases also. That's why the patient should be on immunosuppressants. Again, I have told you where the immunosuppressants play an important role. I have told you in the grafting areas also. Like if that graft is transferred from one person to another, the patient should be on immunosuppressants because our immune system should not act against its own cells. That's why those immunosuppressants are taken if there is heart transplantation or kidney transplantation. But for autoimmune disorders also, our immune system is actually good one, which will protect the which will protect us from acquiring numerous diseases. But sometimes it will act against its own cells because it cannot differentiate between the self cells as well as other cells. So what it will do? Again, it will cause numerous infections. So that's why immunosuppressants should be taken. So medication is immunosuppressants, and myasthenia gravis, rheumatoid arthritis, numerous symptoms we see. Like suppose in rheumatoid arthritis, the bones will become very weak and all, fever and all we see. Suppose in myasthenia gravis also, there will be no proper, you see muscles will become very weak and all. So everything it is based on muscles and bones related only. So these are the two main disorders which are associated with that of autoimmunity. And what is autoimmunity means? It will act against its own cells. Why it will occur means due to genetic disorders. So this is about the autoimmunity. So next we are going to continue with immune responses in our body. Immune responses in our body, like what are the important immune organs which play a very important role in immunity? What are the organs which play a very important role? So basically the organs which play a very important role in immune system. So organs in the immune system. So there are two types of organs. One is primary organs, secondary organs. Basically, these organs are lymphoid organs only. Primary lymphoid organs as well as secondary lymphoid organs. Why we are giving differentiation between these primary and lymphoid organs? Basically, these lymphocytes, I already told you what are the immune system which play a very important role. Those are nothing but B lymphocytes as well as T lymphocytes. These only produce antibodies and play an important role in immune mechanisms of the body. I told you B and T lymphocytes. So basically these B and T lymphocytes should be produced somewhere and they should act somewhere. So that's why there is differentiation between the primary lymphoid organs as well as secondary lymphoid organs. Suppose in primary lymphoid organs, what will happen is, here origin and maturation of these lymphocytes will take place in primary lymphoid organs. Origin as well as maturation of lymphoid organs takes place. Origin as well as maturation of lymphoid organs takes place. When it comes to secondary lymphoid organs, then what is the function of this is, these here, from the primary lymphoid organs, all the lymphocytes are transferred into secondary lymphoid organs, and here the lymphocytes will compete with that of antigen. So here lymphocytes will compete with antigen. Here lymphocytes will compete with that of antigen. Here only origin and maturation of lymphocytes will take place here. Means where the lymphocytes are born and maturation will take place, that is primary lymphoid organs. Where the lymphocytes will act against the antigen. Why these lymphocytes are produced? To act against the foreign particles, that is antigen, right? These are antibodies, and these should compete with antigen. That is only the role of B and T lymphocytes, right? So that's why primary lymphoid organs as well as secondary lymphoid organs are differentiated. So what are the primary lymphoid organs basically? They are nothing but bone marrow as well as thymus. Important neat question, so many times it's asked. What are the primary lymphoid organs or what are the secondary lymphoid organs, they'll ask. So only bone marrow and thymus are primary lymphoid organs. Rest all are secondary lymphoid organs. That is nothing but spleen, lymph nodes, Peyer's patches, of small intestine. These are the secondary lymphoid organs. Primary are bone marrow and thymus. Secondary are spleen, lymph nodes, Peyer's patches of the small intestine. So there is good differentiation between the what are the organs. Primary means where origin and maturation of lymphocytes takes place. Secondary means these all lymphocytes are transferred to these organs like spleen, lymph nodes and Peyer's patches. So they will compete with the antigens in the secondary lymphoid organs. So this is the main differentiation. Now we will see about the bone marrow as well as thymus. So what is bone marrow? A hollow cavity bone marrow. These are primary lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organs. They are nothing but bone marrow as well as thymus. Bone marrow means what? Bone marrow. It is the hollow area that is present inside the bone, hollow cavity that is present in the bone. What is the use of this? Here only mostly B lymphocytes, T lymphocytes, RBCs, WBCs, everything are produced in the bone marrow. So bone marrow plays an important role in origin of RBCs, WBCs, platelets as well as lymphocytes. So in the bone marrow they are produced. I told you what is the location is. It is present inside the bone. So hollow air cavity that is present in the bone. So when it comes to thymus, thymus is located near the heart. So it is present near the heart. So So what is the use of this basically? Same use. It also help in origin and maturation of lymphocytes. Origin and maturation of lymphocytes will take place in the thymus. And later, the another important point regarding thymus is it is usually very big in structure during the time of birth. During the time of birth, numerous lymphocytes, T lymphocytes are produced from this thymus. Thymus, by name only you can understand, it will help in proliferation of T lymphocytes. So numerous T lymphocytes are produced at the time of birth. So it is very large in size. Later, when you are attaining puberty, that is from 14 to 16 years, when you are attaining puberty, this will become very small in size. But it will continuously produce T lymphocytes. But initially, it will produce more lymphocytes. Later, from birth, it will reduce in size. Where it is present means near the heart, behind the breastbone it is present. So it is present near the heart. What is the use of this is origin and maturation of lymphocytes. Same like that of primary. What is primary lymphoid organs? Origin and maturation of lymphocytes will takes place. So in bone marrow, origin of RBC, WBC platelets will take place. When it comes to thymus also, heart and origin and maturation of lymphocytes will takes place. So this is about the thymus. So where it is situated, it is very large in structure. It is very large during time of birth. During time of birth. Later it reduces in size. Later it reduces in size. But continuously it will produce B and T lymphocytes. So this is about the primary lymphoid organs that are nothing but bone marrow and thymus. So I have told you clearly what are the primary lymphoid organs. Next, when you go to secondary lymphoid organs, what are the secondary lymphoid organs which I have told you? So in the secondary lymphoid organs, there are nothing but spleen as well as lymph nodes. Spleen, lymph nodes. What is the use of the spleen? What is the use of secondary lymphoid organs? It is nothing but they help in interacting with that of antigens. So in the spleen, numerous lymphocytes as well as phagocytes are present. How they are present before only, because from primary lymphoid organs they are transferred into secondary lymphoid organs, right? So lymphocytes or phagocytes are present in large quantities in spleen, as well as spleen is usually the graveyard of RBCs. You say graveyard of RBCs. Numerous RBCs are destroyed in spleen. Where is the birth of RBCs? Where they are born? They are born in the bone marrow. Where they are destroyed? In the spleen they are destroyed basically. So it is also called as graveyard of RBCs. Then later, spleen, all the microorganisms it will trap. It contains numerous lymphocytes, right? Whatever the blood-borne microorganisms, everything are trapped in that of spleen. So spleen plays a very important role in attacking with the different antigens through these lymphocytes. Through these lymphocytes, it will attack numerous blood-borne microorganisms. Normally, microorganisms will enter the blood, right? So, how they are not causing disease to us because of spleen only, they are not causing diseases. So, when it comes to lymph nodes, numerous lymph nodes are also present on the full body. What is the use of them? They also trap numerous antigens, that is microorganisms, through these lymphocytes only. The same function. They will contain numerous lymphocytes and they will trap. They will trap the microorganisms. Where are these lymph nodes present? Everywhere in the body, numerous lymph nodes are present, starting from that of near the submandibular glands. Everywhere these lymph nodes are located. What is the use of this is nothing but they produce numerous lymphocytes and they will help in attacking the antigen. So these are the secondary lymphoid organs which are associated with the tough immune system. Primary are bone marrow and thymus. Secondary are simple, that is nothing but spleen as well as lymph nodes. So this is about the primary as well as secondary lymphoid organs. Next topic we are going to see about the AIDS in the next class.